Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hope and Healing at Home. I have some fun things to share with you today. One thing I wanted to tell you about, because I use it a lot today, is Pulley print. I don't know if you've seen these little printers, but they're really cool. You're going to see it all throughout today, the things that I printed up. It comes with a little charge cord. This little beak's removable. I just think it's cute on there, so I leave it on. It has little rolls of paper, and you can link it to your cell phone, and you can print out whatever's on the screen, basically. I don't have any affiliate links or anything with them. I just wanted to introduce that to you. They have sticky paper. It only prints in one color, but it's inkless, which really excites me that I won't have to keep track of ink for it. And then something else I wanted to share today, because it is the week of the Reflecting Light Conference this Friday, July 9th, and it also runs on Saturday. Lots of good speakers covering a terrific array of areas of our life: marriage, business, self-care, parenting. I am doing my Living Lightly art journaling session on Friday at 10:30 Central Time. So grab your ticket. I have a link in my bio, and this is the little logo you'll want to be looking for. So I had a lot of ideas for today. I wanted to cover the Don Jones assessment, and one of the ideas I had for doing that was, I don't know if you guys remember the TV series The Book Bird with John Robbin. I loved this show growing up. He would sit there at his drawing table and draw the story as he told it. So let me know if any of you remember him. One of my favorites. And I found that somebody is sharing those on YouTube. So if you want to introduce the next generation or a new generation to him, you can find his shows on YouTube. Very exciting. Very soothing voice, great art, good stories. The Book Bird with John Robbin. And then here's the guy of the hour today, Don Jone. And I figured this was a really good thing to address next with this live. We've been focused on storytelling and how that is helpful for processing issues. Last week, we did the Instinctual Trauma Drawing series by Linda Gant, and showed us how telling stories, how breaking down one situation can be really helpful in processing a trauma and helping us heal and move forward with that. And this week I wanted to show how telling stories can help us assess our coping skills, our problem-solving skills, and other things like this. So the Don Jones assessment is fun. I got to participate in it without knowing all the reasons behind it, and I think that is the ideal way to do it the first time. So I think today what I'm going to do, inspired by John Robbins' style, I'm not going to draw everything out as I tell you the story, but I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'm going to read you the story that Don Jones wrote, this adventure story. And then at the end, I'll talk a little bit about how we can look at the drawings that we make in response to this story and figure out some of our strengths. So art therapy is not all about processing hard things or just looking at emotions, but it can be fun, it can be stories, it can be looking at our strengths. So Don Jones, just a little bit about him, and I'll have more in my newsletter. Really cool guy. He kind of came to art therapy a little bit by accident. He was drafted into World War II, and he went to work before they had psychotropic medications, and he went to work basically like a mental hospital and was working with the patients there, doing all sorts of odds and ends jobs, giving them pills, feeding them meals, cleaning the floors and stuff. And he started noticing all these drawings that people were doing and started participating with the clients in those. And he found that making the art was really helpful to him and super helpful to the clients and the patients there. So this quote that someone put on a picture of him is, "Most psychologists looked at the artwork of patients as just scribble. I worked with these patients 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. There were messages on a deeper level. It was a primitive language of their expression." He has passed away, but his work lives on. He's inspiring. And I'm just going to jump right in. I hope you will grab a notebook, because I'm going to read his adventure story and map it out a little bit with some images that I printed up today. And there's going to be gaps in this story, and that's the prompt to draw your own picture. So I hope you're comfy, grab something to draw with, because in a few minutes I'm going to ask you to draw a picture. Imagine yourself at home, or wherever your stuff is, and you're preparing to go on a journey, a backpacking trip. You're putting into your backpack everything. that you will need for the journey. At any point during the journey, you can take and use things you've put into your backpack. What you need will be there. You will be taking this journey alone, but you will always remain safe. You are physically capable to take this trip. It is a fall day. The sun is out. There's a slight breeze. It is an excellent day to take this journey, to just get away. You get into your car and head out into the country. You stop at a field. You park, you lock your car, you put your backpack on, and you start heading across the field. You feel the sun on your face, and you feel the breeze. You smell and see many things in nature around you. You cross the field and enter a woods. There you find a path. It seems that the path was there just for you. It is a very clear path. You hear the sounds of nature as you are walking on your path. The sun is glittering through the trees and hits your face. You hear the sound of water. As you continue down the path, the water sound becomes louder and louder and louder. You soon come across a fast-flowing, deep river. Now, the path that you want to continue on continues on the other side of this river. What do you do? This is your first picture. So grab out your journal. Think about how you will navigate across this river. What are you going to do? Because you want to continue this journey, but first you have to figure out how to get past this river. So if you want to pause the video and draw a picture of how you're going to navigate and figure out your way to get across this raging river. Let's continue with the journey. You find yourself on the path again. As you are walking, you're finding that the path begins to change. You're finding that you have to climb over stones, but the path is still there. You soon realize that you are in the foothills of a mountain. And as you continue on the path, you go higher and higher into the mountain. You soon are able to look back from where you came. As you continue on the path becomes more narrow. But you're still able to safely go forward on the path. It's still clear enough. To the right of you is a drop-off, and to the left is a cliff going up. As you look up the path, you see something coming towards you. As you get closer, you see that it's a goat. Now, that goat wants to come down the path, and you want to go up the path. What do? This is your second picture. So you're on a narrow path on the side of a mountain, and you're wanting to continue forward, and the goat wants to get past you to go down the mountain. What do? This is your second drawing. So this again, you can hit pause and draw this drawing of how do you and the goat get past each other on this very narrow path. Let's continue the journey. You find yourself on the path again. You continue going up into the mountain, and it's getting late in the day. It really is too late to go back down the mountain. And then it begins to rain. You realize that you need a safe and comfortable place for the night. You seek such a place as you continue on your path. You come to a clearing, and in the distance, you see what you think looks like a cave. You tell yourself, yes, that would be a safe and comfortable place, a dry place out of the rain to spend the night. As you near the cave, you discover that there are two creatures outside the cave. You want to get into that cave. What do? And this will be your third picture. So again, it's raining out. You need a safe, dry place for the night. But there's two creatures outside that cave. What kind of drawing comes to mind? What do you put into your third picture? This would be a good place. Press pause and draw this third picture of how you're going to get past the creatures into the cave. In your fourth picture, the last picture of this adventure, you find yourself in the cave. You do find that it is safe and comfortable. You may have even started a fire and are sitting looking out at the rain coming down, and you do feel safe inside this cave. All of a sudden, a sensation or a feeling comes over you. It is the sensation, a feeling, I am not alone. And this will be your fourth picture. Go ahead and pause and draw this picture And just let your imagination flow. You're in a cave, it's raining outside, you feel cozy with your fire right there. But you have this sensation, this nagging feeling that you are not alone. So that is, in essence, the Don Jones assessment. You go on this adventure, you pack up your bag, you drive to this wonderful clearing, you see this path seemingly marked just for you, and then you come across an obstacle of the river. If the path is on the other side, you have to find a way through, find a way across, and you successfully navigate across the river, and then you come across, your path gets narrow on a hill, on a mountainside, and you come across another obstacle, your second obstacle, of a goat. How do you and the goat cross paths on a narrow trail, which you successfully navigate? And then it's raining, and you see a cave, but the cave is blocked by two creatures, and you need to get into the cave for a safe shelter for the night. And you do this successfully, and then you're in the cave, and you get this nagging feeling. Even though you're safe and warm in the cave, you get a nagging feeling that you're not alone. And that is the fourth drawing in this assessment. So a few little images to prompt the way here. I hope you do take the time, even if it wasn't right now. I do hope you'll take the time to draw those pictures and then sign up for my newsletter so that you can get a whole bunch of questions to ask yourself to reveal your strengths and your problem-solving skills and the healthy coping skills that you do have already that you use and that are revealed through this series of 4 drawings. Overcoming the river, passing the goat, getting into the cave past the creatures, and then this feeling of I'm not alone. Tons and tons of things come out of this. There's lots of questions. There's lots of links I'll have in the newsletter that help walk you through looking at the images that you do create as a result of this. And you can do this with the official one. You're supposed to draw that with a pencil, marker, things like that. But as always, you can do this so that you enjoy this process. You can use collage, you can use paint, you can, spice it up. You can print off pictures from the internet and create your own story. You can color them in, you could add to them, you can alter them, whatever makes sense to you to tell this story. And all the images that I have here that I'm sharing today are from unsplash.com, so all copyright free. But when you're working in your own journal, you don't need to worry about that. You can use any image that you like. So this is a very well-researched assessment that Don Jones came out with, and I think it's fun because, well, it's a story, and you get to make pictures about it and just go on a little adventure. So picture 1 about crossing the river, what they tend to focus in on there is how do we address obstacles. And picture 2, passing the goat on the narrow trail on the mountain, is about interpersonal relationships. Picture 3, about the creatures in front of the cave, that tends to address the monsters within us. And then picture 4, that feeling that we're not alone, tends to reveal what or whom we place our personal power. So that's just really, really briefly of what can be revealed through each of those 4 drawings. And in the diagnostic aspect, when the therapist is looking at people's drawings in response to this story and this adventure story, you're looking at patterns of functioning. You're looking at, did they draw people? What did they pack in their bag? What do these creatures look like? Do they use only things from their backpack? Do they use things that they find on the trail? Do they add people or other animals to the story? Do they travel alone? Do they travel with a dog or anything? Things that you can also be asking after you finish the story is what works, what doesn't work for them, what do they need to keep working on, what do they not like about a picture, what do they like about a picture, how would they want to change anything in the drawings that they made, what questions do they ask along the way. I always think it's really interesting to see what they choose in the beginning to put in their backpack and at what point do they access what's in the pack. And at the end, I tend to ask, well, is there anything you wish you would have put in that backpack? Looking at metaphors as always, looking at emotions that came up, like was there frustration or fear? Was there curiosity? Did they think the goat or the creatures or whatever was making them feel that they weren't alone in the cave, was that friendly? Was that scary? Was it dangerous? Did they force the goat to move, or did they move? What happened there? Did they look for a back entrance or an alternate entrance to a cave, or did they just skip this cave altogether and find a whole different cave to get away from the creatures? Were the creatures sleeping? All good questions here. When they felt they weren't alone, was there actually something else in the cave with them, and what was that? Those are good questions to be asking there, and that is revealed in the drawing. There's so many things that as we draw that elicits some new questions. So I hope you'll give this a try. Again, I'm going to have a ton more information and some good links about Don Jone himself and about this assessment and the research that has been formulated or gone into it. That'll all be in my newsletter. If you have questions, let me know. If there's something that you would like to see covered on one of these Art Therapy Lives, let me know that as well. And I'll make sure to create a live that addresses that. And next week, we have a guest. Heather is going to do an art journaling focus on rituals. And she's an art therapist also in Wisconsin, which is kind of fun. We connected online. And so she's going to focus in on art journaling. So get your art journaling supplies ready and join us next week, the 14th, for an art journal experience focused on rituals. And this Friday starts the Reflecting Light Kingdom Women's Conference again. And my presentation is on Friday on Living Lightly, about releasing lies from our identity. So thanks again for joining today for the Don Jone assessment. I hope you did enjoy that and gleaned some helpful information about yourself, about your strengths, and just enjoyed going on a little adventure. Well, take care, and we'll see you next week for some art journaling about rituals. Talk to you later. Have a great Wednesday.